Welcome back to Stasis Geek, the MCU. Are we getting just failure after failure with them? Now, I'm not talking about Ant-Man 3, because that's bombed. Yeah, it's everybody who went to watch it, told everybody not to watch it, so in the second week, it's bad. So, what are Marvel doing? Now, if you go take out anybody knows anything about comics, superheroes, or anything like that, then just the normies, what they're announcing is, who's that? What's that? Who's that about? I've never heard of that. What is this? Except for one announcement we've got in the pipeline is the Fantastic Four. And why I bring up the Fantastic Four? Because I've come across this article from yesterday, and it's just like, what are you doing? Now, one, apparently it's been written. Yeah, the script, and I'll tell you who is part of the script in a moment. But the casting won't be done until they get Susan Storm. Once they get Susan Storm, right, they're going to get the other characters. Build upon Susan Storm's casting. That's a worry in itself. Because wouldn't the number one person have to be Reed Richards? I'm just a bit bewildered about that. But then I was like, okay, knock that aside. So apparently the executives of Marvel, because they're doing such a great job at the moment, that we're going to get a surprising story. Oh no, what are they doing? That's the first thing after I started reading that. I was like, oh no. So we're getting this one, and apparently it's being released in 2025. Oh no, it's a rush job. Because if you've got no casting and you've got inexperienced writers, and why I say inexperienced writers is I had to look these guys up because I hadn't got a clue who they were. Now we'll go into the director in a minute, but the writers, I'm going to butcher your names and I do apologize, but Ian Springer and Jeffrey Kaplan, and I had to look at what they've done. So we're just going to run off what they're best known for, of what they've done so far. Atomic TV, 1 episode. Bert and Ernie's Guide to Friendship and The Last of the Great Romantics. Now that is Ian Springer, apparently. And the guy who, Jeff, has done everything, but he also did a short called Love and Adventures in New York. Now, they've got Fantastic Four to write. Also, they're writing K-pop, Lost in America. Okay, all right. They may have got pitched a great script. They may have gone in there, blaze of glory, and everybody went, oh, you we're going to give you the try. We're going to give you that. So, let's ignore what they've done in the past for now. Until we go on to the director. Matt Shakman, or whatever you want to pronounce his name. WandaVision. Done 9 episodes of WandaVision. And then 43 episodes It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Now, you may notice from my accent, I am English. The humour in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia is not very well travelled. It doesn't travel well outside of the Americas. Let's say. It's panned over here. Nobody finds it funny. Sorry, if you love it, you love it. It's just not our humour. So we go past that. So what else has he done? 1 episode. These are 1 episodes. The Great. The Boys. Game of Thrones. Billions. Stranger Angel. Succession. Yeah, can go on. So I go off that. I'm like, oh, he did House, though. He did 5 episodes of House. But have you noticed something here? It's a TV director doing the Fantastic Four. Okay. And you could say, well, he might need a lift up. Now, I would have said yes, everybody needs a chance. But he's been doing this, and he's never been given his chance for the last 21 years. That's when he first started doing his TV directing. So it's taken him 21 years, it'll be more than that when it's finished, it starts, to get his first film. I think you're getting... Matt, you're cheap. Jeff, you're cheap. Ian, you're cheap. That's why they've got them, because it's cheap. So we're going to go on then to the article of the Fantastic Four. Okay, so there's a bit of a worrying one that they compare Fantastic Fours. Now, I had to look at this because the director, of comparing his time working on this movie to his time working on the Star Trek franchise. I couldn't find any Star Trek franchise interlink. Now, I'm guessing because of his directing scowl, it's Discovery. It's got to be. Oh, no, you say. Yes, it has to, just because of the time scale. Now, it's weird what they're saying here, because he's noting the difference between the Fantastic Four, and these are his words, and Star Trek were both launched into the 60s. And the whole part of the technology advancements. And then you have to look at WandaVision. Is where they started off with that. I probably did WandaVision. I did 1.5 episodes. And I was done. I just found it so dragging on, boring. So, problems there. So it looks like they're going to launch in the 60s with Fantastic Four. Now, I don't mind that if they're going to go back and they're going to go, we're going to now do an MCU in different, not modern day. No, I mean modern day. It's because we're going to get a surprising story. So it's not going to be the 60s, this Earth realm 60s. It's going to be modern day 60s, alternative. You can't relate to what's going on Fantastic Four. Where is Reed Richards is going to take a backseat, because the surprising story already is you're casting Susan Storm first. Oh, so you got that, haven't you? So, it's going to be who's going to be Ben, who's going to be the Human Torch, who's like that. I'm guessing they're going to come in with something like Doctor Doom, and they've butchered that, it's going to be thing, because they do announce somewhere on here. Oh, this is just like when you want something to go, just don't butcher it. Just give it back to 20th Century Fox and just let them just butcher it even more. The first, the one they did wasn't bad. The rest are just... Yeah, hold it. So they're going to do either... They're going to have a surprising villain. Kang the Conqueror, or maybe Doctor Doom. Yay! But it's all going to link in to Secret Wars and the Kang dynasty. Or dynasty. And that's going to be part of Phase 6. I'm just like... when you just want to rip out your hair because you're like, what are you doing? Now, I came across this because I was looking at something about Shang-Chi. That wonderful, great. But you're like, oh. Now, I like Fantastic Four. The comics. I didn't mind the first movie. Just about how her, wasn't it? So, kind of like that. But it was a playful movie. The second one was awful, and then the other one I never watched, and there have been reboots and rehashes in the past as well, but I mean the modern, with actual good science fiction, CGI. But this is a worry. It's just, I don't get what Marvel's doing. It's either they have this, I don't know, you can't even call it writer's room, or it's like stupid room. You know, you got people licking the windows in there who are coming out with, like, let's put everything on the wall, and then whatever sticks, we're going to have to then tell the writers to do. Because, okay, you might have a plan. I don't think they've got a plan. I don't think they've got an end game as such, you know, because, you know, this is what we're going to end it with. Because they can't end it, because this is their money ticket. It's just reboot after reboot. But you would think, as a writer, you would want to put your stamp on it. You give it your say so. You got some cheap guys there, and I'm going to call them cheap because they're not renowned. Bert and Ernie. Ooh. But what are they going to... So what I mean about cheap and stupidity writers' room is they must have this direction of what they've got to tick or do. So they got to get people who are not going to go, I'm going to do my own thing. If you don't like it, sod off. These are yes men. Yes, we'll do it. Will we get, we're going to get our name in. Yeah, well, okay, let's do it. Because there's no credible writer is going to come in and go, okay, this is my idea. No, we don't want that. See that whiteboard? Ignore the saliva dripping from the walls. You know, or that guy over there licking his own turd in the corner. What we want you to do is blah, 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 blah. You know, because that's what Marvel are doing at the moment. And it's like, take a step back, get some good writers. Because your writing is awful. We need to insert this. We need to insert that. Susan Storm, we've never done it from her way. Well, you've never done Reed Richards right. You know, they concentrate on Reed Richards. All the rest comes together. You know, But yeah, it's a worry. The news keep on dripping out about Fantastic Four. And I want, you know, people have heard, and I mean normies, have heard about Fantastic Four. It's like if you're going to do, well, let's be political correct, X-person. Yeah, mutants, whatever they're going to call it. The X-Men. Everybody's heard of the X-Men. Nobody's heard of something called the mutants. Nobody's called the X-persons. Yeah? Or whatever they're going to call it, because it's... Oh, I can't remember that idiot's name, didn't they? Oh, who came out? You can't say X-Men. Oh. You know, normies have heard of X-Men. Normies have heard of Fantastic Four. So they're then, you know, they should be your big projects. They should go boom, boom. You should be concentrating, because you're ruining all this Phase 5, you know, with these lesser Marvel characters who are, you're going, like, where is it? You're not going to know. If somebody brought out the Son of Satan, normies aren't going to know what that is. They're going to be like, I know I need to ball and bag it. I'm being lazy. But if you did that, put it down gently. Nobody's going to know who it is. You know, you everybody like, what's that? What's that about? You know, there's a lot of Marvel. You know, from that era, like, you know, that Bronze era, is that they don't know how to do it. But there are certain branded ones, and it probably is from the 90s, was when they had them out there, is your 90s kids are now adults and they've got kids of themselves. So they're going to know and brought down that kind of knowledge to their kids and take their kids to the cinema to see the new launches. But if they're just doing minor ones, it's like Ant-Man. Is it Paul Rudd? I like Paul Rudd. He's quite quirky at what he does. It's Ant-Man. It's not very, woo, it's Ant-Man. Excuse me. You know, it's not a 4, is it? They butchered that. So, Fantastic Four. It's going to be interesting to see how badly this goes. It seems like everything they're saying is they're not doing Fantastic Four. They're doing their own spin on the characters, and then giving it the Fantastic Four logo. Because it's going to be awful. Bert and Ernie. It's going to be Bert and Ernie. If it was, I would find that hilarious if they just went solid. She would just be Bert and Ernie. But actually just call them Fantastic Four. Actually, Bert... Oh, which one would he? Ben? And then Ernie's got to be the Human Torch. It'd be funny. Now that, I would like to see. Because it would just be like, yep, at least you went there. At least you did it. You know, you can guarantee on this they're going to modern it up. Now, it's weird because everybody else, if the other studios are going, we're coming away from this. But Marvel and Disney are going all in. It's Disney, isn't it? It's like, I'm not going to call Lucasfilm in that. It's Disney. So Disney, Marvel, all that, it's all the same pot. It all comes from the same person that's going, window. You know, that's that person who keeps on going, you're doing the same thing. And the next thing you're doing the same thing. And the stock is dying. And nobody's seeing our TV or films anymore, and we're losing subscribers, and hence we're losing money, and nobody's going to our parks because everything we do modern is rubbish. So can we stop? Can you stop looking the window, please? I'm talking to you. That's what it must be like. So you've got these writers coming in at the moment who are just going, I'm here for my chance. Now you can't blame the writers. If you're given a job, you're going to get a job. You can't blame the writers. I'm just blaming people who hire them because their previous work, your first job is your marker. As soon as you go off that, you know, it's very rare. You know, you might have your Peter Jacksons. You know, bad taste is awful. Come on. It's funny, but it's below budget awful. You know, but he gone for it. And you get them, you know, them gems out there. But this is going to be hurtful. A hurtful premise to the MCU phase 6 or whenever. It could be phase whatever by then, but this ain't looking good, is it? So I want to keep my eye out for more Fantastic Four. Mate, they might call it Fantastic. Sod it, let's change it, let's mix it up, we need more representation, and then now it's done Fantastic 7. I don't know. Just spitballing. Oh, they could do it though, couldn't they? Look, we call it or they'd be dumb. Is when they did the Madness of King George, and they didn't call it King George III because people wouldn't understand where is 1 and 2. This is number 3. Where I didn't see the first 2 movies, so maybe that's what they're gonna do. Just Fantastic 4, Fantastic 2. They could. It's their stupidity. It is literally, you know, the Marvel stupidity. They could literally go, we call the first one Fantastic, and then it'll be Fantastic 2. Then Susan Storm sets up the Fantastic Fours. There we go. That's how to do it. Let's make the movie just about her. Then Reed Richards, he comes in because he needs her. Then we get Ben come in because they find him under a rock. And then the Human Torch, you know, something goes wrong and they needed a spark. And he is the fire. There's our 4. Our 4 movies, people. Oh. And it only took me 2 minutes from stop licking that window. Oh. It could be. They could do something ridiculously bad like that. Because that's the Marvel way at the moment. They just don't know how to do their own product. It's weird. You know, and it's not even like you go, oh my God, they need to spend millions on this CGI. They need to draw it back on the CGI and actually do a good storytelling. Because at the moment, it's all CGI driven. But yeah, I'm going to keep my ear to the ground and my eyes peeled to the internet. And find out some good news about this. Good news? Just news, isn't it? But yeah, give us a comment if you think they butchered it already. Go and have a look at the articles. They're all out there. Oh, shake of the head. But yes, give us a like if you want to like. And as always, Stasis Geek out.